name is Ben Chu. I'm a horticulture supervisor of the Japanese garden at Missouri Botanical Garden, and I've been working in the Japanese garden for, well, probably 35 years now, and have done a lot of work with cropping trees and supporting trees in the style that would have been typical in a lot of the Japanese gardens around. What I'm doing today is I'm actually applying some supports to some of the more horizontal branches to help to carry some of the weight of the branch, and also the weight of the branch after it has leaves on it. So it'll help the tree from spreading out and breaking apart for over time. Well, this Japanese maple is probably the largest Japanese maple that I've seen in the St. Louis area, given its height and its spread. Certainly it is considerably older than most. Not sure exactly how old, at least 80 years or more, given the size of the trunk. There was an old Pittsman survey from the early 1900s, and the question was whether or not I thought the tree could be as old as the Pittsman survey, since it was a Japanese maple was shown on it. And there's a potential that the tree could be that old. There are probably trees in Japan that are centuries old. Really, the only real way to know is to either do an incremental boring of the trunk to determine its exact age, or if there's some sort of historical documentation as far as where maybe when the tree was purchased, when it was planted, by whom, and at what time of in what year. That would be helpful. I know that in the early 1900s, a lot of plants were being brought to the United States from Japan. They're considered sort of an exotic plant in that part of our history. And they did bring a lot of plants in from Japan, so there's potential that this tree could have been from Japan originally. What I see is a bit of fungal rot around the base of the tree, and because of that, there's a concern that structurally it's compromised, and it may be a little weak as a result of that. And as the rot progresses, the tree will continue to become structurally weaker, and the potential for breakage is greater. Japanese maples are surprisingly very hard. It's one of the harder maple trees as far as the wood is concerned. So I don't really have a huge concern about breakage, but what I do have concern about is that separation at the base of the tree, and that you're losing an entire side of the tree if the rot were to progress beyond what it is now. Using a natural fiber manila rope to tie the post off to the branch, so that the branch won't move off the top of the support. The reason I use a natural fiber is that it'll over time deteriorate. One might think that that's a bad thing, but if it were a poly or a plastic rope material, it wouldn't deteriorate, and there is potential that the branch, as it continues to grow in girth, will become girdled by that poly material, and will eventually kill that branch from that where it's tied off to the very end. So it's better to use a manila, a natural material that over time will have a little bit of stretch and will actually begin to deteriorate and age and fall off. And then it's just really a matter of doing an inspection occasionally, just to make sure the roping is secure and not rotting, and also to make sure that the rope is not girdling the branch that it's meant to support. overall, I think the tree looks pretty healthy. As far as what I saw earlier this summer with the size of the leaves and the leaf color, I see it seems to be fairly growing fairly well.